This is Ernesto Paez from Modern Mimes, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Ernesto Paez, and I hope I pronounced his last name correct. He is the...
You got it, man. You nailed it.
He is the double neck guitar bassist guy from Modern Mimes. And we're going to be talking to him about that just a little bit later on in the show. But right now, they have a new album called The Gray that's going to be coming out this fall. So there's no set date as of right now. But we're going to be talking to Ernesto about that. So, man, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. I'm glad we avoided the hurricane. Unfortunately, it went up to... I'm in Florida, so just so everybody knows, you know, we're prone to hurricanes around this time. So, just like a little bittersweet thing, you know. It sucks that it went up to the Carolinas, but we're safe over here. So,
I saw where Georgia was actually declaring for a state of emergency already, and I was like, has it already hit Georgia too? Wow, that's crazy.
Man, yeah, it's a big one, man. I'm pretty sure they're getting some wind and some rains and stuff. So yeah, you know, hopefully they're doing okay over there in the Carolinas as well.
Yeah, these hurricanes suck, man. They really do, because it can cause havoc in a heartbeat for sure.
Oh, dude, yeah, I mean, being from Florida, man, we've had our fair share throughout the years. So, you know, fingers crossed that we don't get any this year. But, you know, then again, if it happens, we're well prepared.
So let's jump right into this, man. Do you feel like your guys' music is more darker than a new style of goth via electronica music, possibly? Yeah,
you know, it's kind of what we've been told throughout the years of putting out music, man. It's funny because we never really set out to do anything specific, and you know, me having a metal and kind of a grunge background, and Adi's more of an avant-garde singer, you know, kind of classic goth style. It's just kind of meshes well, and it's what's been coming out lately. So yeah, I would say we definitely have our little bit of darkness with kind of like a light at the end of the tunnel kind of vibe, you know what I mean?
So the lead single on the album is called Stare. What was it about this song for you guys to say this is going to be the single, and what stood out about it when writing this song, man?
Well, dude, we wrote the song back in February at the studio that we were recording at in New Orleans, and you know, we dug the overall vibe, and it just stood out to us, and everybody that heard it kind of seemed to really gravitate to that one. So we said, hey, let's push that one as a single. And initially, we had a few other songs that we might have wanted to push, because we did a recording in Texas prior to the one that we did in New Orleans. So we were looking at songs from that bunch, and then we just said, hey, you know what, this one seems to be the one that has that kind of radio vibe. So let's put it out and see how it does.
What's impressed you the most, Ernesto, about making the new album, The Gray? What's caught your eye about, if anything, man? What sticks out for you, possibly?
You know, just the overall vibe, man, and the message, and just, you know, basically, we had a really good time writing this album, man, and we feel like the overall quality and everything that's gone into it, and all the energy that we put into it is definitely like a step up, you know, from the last one.
How long did it take to record the album?
Oh man, we well, like I said, we went to Texas first. We did a little bundle of songs. I think we did about 4 or 5 in Texas. So that was a good 8-day run, and then we came back home to Florida. Then you know, we hooked up with a couple new producers, and you know, we got introduced to Rick Lander, who produced the album, and Chris Stanley, who co-produced it, and just decided to go up there in New Orleans and do a couple more tracks to make it a full length rather than just like a 5-song EP. So I want, and then with the mixing and everything, I want to say it was a good 6 months. Took a good 6 months to record and finalize.
Now, you mentioned just a second ago about the producers that was on this. So how was working with Rick Lander, who's worked with Flaw and Dead Horse Trauma, and plus Anthony Santacito, who's been with John Hampson in 9 Days, and Breonna Taylor. Let's talk about this a little bit. Did they let you do your own thing and then step in when they needed to to push you guys even more, or how did they work this out with you all?
Well, yeah, pretty much. In Texas, we did have a lot I don't want to say more room, but we definitely did a lot of our own thing. And then, Anthony did step in, put his creative vibe into it. And then working with Rick, it's pretty much the same thing. He has a cool style, and so does Chris Stanley, and they're a great team. So, a lot of the writing we kind of did together, kind of like on the spot, and we made it happen, and we're very happy with it.
Are there any songs off this album that stand out more to you on it, if possible? I mean, I know these are like picking your favorite candy or whatever, but are there any that stand out for you?
I mean, I want to say it stands on its own. It's its own entity, especially from the last album that we did. All the songs on here definitely have a message, and it's funny because our last album, I want to say, was a little darker. This one's a little more polished. Has a little bit more of a mature vibe. So honestly, all the songs really do stand out to me, and it was kind of hard to come up with like a single or a second single. So honestly, it's kind of hard to say to pick which one song or which one was our favorite, but I guess they kind of all are. It's kind of like trying to pick your favorite kid.
What do you hope the fans take away from this album, or message you hope they hear while listening to this album, or any other type of music you have out there?
We always encourage all the listeners to take away kind of use it as their own interpretation. You know what I mean? To try to get like a positive vibe, and basically look within, you know what I mean? To take the songs as like a stepping stone for them, kind of like what we've been through in our lives, see if anybody relates to that, and takes it as a positive, you know what I mean?
How much growth musically have you seen this band and yourself go through from EP to EP or to album, or has it just been more of a personal growth for the both of you?
It's definitely been a personal growth for the both of us. People always tell us that this is, Miles, they could see the growth, basically. They can see the evolution in our songwriting and in our lyric writing. And, that's pretty much it, man. It's been quite personal. We've been going through so much with this album, from waiting to get it mixed to, writing the actual songs. And, it's just a whole lot, People don't understand how much goes into actually writing an album and how much time it takes. And it's a lot harder than it looks. You know what I mean?
It's a process. I mean, you just, when you first start writing the music, and kudos to all you writers out there, because some of you could do a song in 10 minutes, writing out a song. I mean, it takes me, if I was going to do it, I'd have to sit down and take weeks and months to do something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. We were a little strapped for time. So we, the first go around, we were like, let's get the stuff that we've had in the past that we've been kind of writing, and let's really fine tune it and make a great album.
When you go into the recording studio, do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to help keep your mind fresh and open, to not get bored with it and to not get stale? Do you do anything differently to help you out on this?
Honestly, not really, man. I've been working in and out of studios for quite some time, and I'll be honest with you, it's probably one of my favorite things to do. So no, not really. I don't really do anything different. I might try, do a little bit more trial and error when it comes to writing guitar stuff or bass stuff. But it's pretty straightforward, man. We go in there and we try to nail it as I don't want to say as quick as possible, but as best as possible.
What can fans expect at a show from Modern Mimes who have not got to see you guys live as of yet?
Oh, man, we'll be probably heading up your way sometime very soon. We're in the middle of booking a tour and getting all the dates in line and all that. What can you expect from our show, man? We are just high energy from the get-go, and we don't let up. We want to entertain as much as possible. We want to feed off the audience, and we want them to feed off of us, and just to make it an overall interactive experience for everybody, including us. So yeah, man, just high energy, just a lot of moving around, a lot of jumping around, and a lot of passion, basically.
Now, we're living in a digital era of recording albums and plus social media. Do you like this, to get albums out quicker, and plus social media, to get Modern Mimes out there, to let folks hear you who have not got to hear you all as of yet, possibly? Yeah, man, it's getting a little tough, man. I've been around for a long time. I've toured for a long time, and I've seen the overall change and the overall evolution when it comes to social media and digital downloads. I truly am I'm still a fan of the physical copies. I still love
finding a record store or a Best Buy or something to walk into, and then seeing an album cover and just kind of like looking at the mystery of what an album cover looks like, and then buying it, and then listening to the music, and just the overall experience of all that. Unfortunately, it's gone down a little bit throughout the years. But, that's not to say that social media is not a great tool to getting music out there. It's definitely where everybody seems to be at nowadays. So do I like it? I don't think for me it's necessarily a like or dislike thing. It's just what it is right now. And, I guess we have to kind of evolve with the times and, put forth the work that it takes to use social media as a tool.
See, I'm like you. I like to have the physical copy. I want that CD in my hand. I remember when I was a kid going to the CD stores at the mall and just coming out with a handful. And I mean, I'm talking about 15 to 20 different CDs. And and going up to the counter and just watching the lady's expression and just smiling and go, "Yep, these is what I want."
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. And it's terrible because I heard recently that Best Buy stopped selling CDs.
Yeah.
So and a few of the close FYEs around here shut down. There was one close by, and that's the one that I kind of used to go to and just back then they used to have the little headphones set up so you can hear samples of songs and see if you wanted to buy the album. And I honestly I enjoyed that, man. And unfortunately we can't really do that too much anymore. But there's still some really cool record shops around here and down in Miami, so we definitely like to check those out.
Man, you guys have played the Riptide Music Festival for the past couple of years. How's it been for you guys? Especially that's a big alternative festival as well.
Oh, absolutely, man. The Riptide Fest has been really, really cool. We're hoping to possibly get on this year again, and it's a really, really cool experience, especially since it's so close and it's right on the beach, man. There's something cool about performing. For me, at least, performing like on the sand, on the beach, and having like a crowd of people is just a really cool vibe, man. It's been great.
I thought this is the coolest thing that I've ever heard from a band to actually do, and that's what they covered. I'll just get into the question here. It's more easier.
Yeah.
You guys did a cover of Typo Negative's "I Don't Want to Be Me." What was it about this song that made you want to cover it and put Modern Mimes' twist on it?
Well, as a lot of people may know, we're huge Typo Negative fans, man. We really are. It was for me personally, growing up. I think I want to say I was like 5 or 6 years old, and it was literally the first time I heard Typo Negative. It actually created a whole world for me. You know what I mean? It's hard to describe, but growing up, my dad always listened to kind of the '80s stuff, like the Guns N' Roses and the Van Halens, and that stuff's all great, but when I first heard Typo Negative, Peter Steele's voice and that dark, brooding sound, it took me somewhere, and it kind of stuck with me. So, and the funny thing about "I Don't Want to Be Me," it was when we were in the studio recording our first album. It was one of those weird, like, hey, it'd be kind of cool to do a cover of this song and make it our own, do it kind of slow and kind of brooding and dark, and since it's kind of a fast-paced song. And then the guy that we were recording with, about a week later, he says, "Hey, check this out," and he wrote a piano part for it. And I was like, "All right, well, I guess we're doing this." And then so we ended up putting our own spin on it and doing it the way it came out. And honestly, we thought it was just the perfect song to do.
Yeah, Audie's voice, and I mean this in a awesome way. I don't mean this in a negative way, but Audie's voice is very haunting. It's very cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's very cold but great. And your guitar playing, man, on this, and plus the bass with that, the bass guitar and plus guitar that you're doing with that double neck is pretty badass. Because I like when you're getting into this, because I mean you're jamming out yourself in this video to this song.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's pretty badass cover. It's very awesome. And
thank you.
This is, and I'm going to say this right now, and I don't say this a whole lot, but I think this is one of the best Typo Negative songs I've heard covered by a band in a very long time.
Thank you, man. I really do appreciate that, man. Yeah, we got a lot of love for that song. We also did get a lot of hate for it because Typo Negative's got like a big cult following, a lot of purists. Which here's my theory: if you're not getting at least a little bit of negative response, then you're not reaching enough people.
There you go. What I mean? There you go.
But I do agree, absolutely.
Why would you want to do a cover of a song and do the same song? I mean, yeah, you can put your own twist to it, and that's what you should do, but don't just cover the damn song to be the damn, just do the same thing.
Exactly. I 100% agree with you on that one, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're looking forward to doing maybe a couple more covers and putting our own spin on it, man. It's just not only for fun, but just to see what kind of response we get as well,
Metallica got shit for doing Bob Seger's
Bob Ross. Well, Bob Seger, that's right. Yeah, Bob
they,
Seger. Turn the Page.
Yeah, they got so much shit for doing the cover of Bob Seger's Turn the Page, and I'm like, why? I mean, they made it heavier. They made it their style. I thought it was a damn good cover.
I thought it was great, man. I remember seeing the video for that, and I had no idea it was even a cover. It took me a while to realize that it was a cover, and then I was like, oh, well, they did a really good job on it.
Yeah, they did Sabbath Bloody Sabbath cover of Black Sabbath. I mean,
that's right.
You know, they did. I think some of the covers that they've done have been phenomenal. I think they've took them up to an extra level, in my opinion.
Absolutely. No, I'm right there with you. See, I do hear, especially with YouTube, there's a lot of YouTubers doing a lot of covers. And but the problem with that is that you've already heard the song, and you've heard it covered thousands and thousands of times. So I believe putting a spin on it and doing something different definitely gives it a lot more clout, if that makes any sense.
When is this album coming out, possibly?
So we have a set date of October 10th. So a little bit less than a month away. Really excited about it, man. We're actually planning our album release show for about a week after that, October 20th. So yeah, man, just really excited to put this out.
Folks, October 10th, this album is coming out, The Gray. You want to pick this album up, please check out the cover that they did of Typo Negative's I Don't Want to Be Me. It's a dark, great video. Plus, if you like electronica music, stuff like that, pick this album up. I mean, it's going to be well worth your time from checking out some of the stuff that they have done. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Ernesto, how can folks stay in touch with you, buy some merchandise, this album, tour dates, things like that? How can you do that, my friend?
Absolutely, man. We have to just go to our website, www.modernmimes.com. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/modernmimesmusic. On Twitter, at Modern Mimes. We're also on CD Baby. You can pick up a single there. We're on Spotify. We have our previous album. We have Stare, the single. We're definitely going to put out the new album on Spotify as well. And, just YouTube as well, man. We'd love to hear from everybody. Please comment, tell us how much if you like it, if you hate it, we don't care. Just reach out. We love hearing from fans.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Absolutely. This is Ernesto Paez from Modern Mimes, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Thank you so much, Ernesto.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Had a great time.